Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. I'm so glad you're here. We have so much to discuss. Today we'll be hitting some highlights from St. Meghan Markle. So I want to give that group a shout out. If you haven't checked them out, they are on Reddit and there's just so much to discuss. You know, we got Doofus looking pouty at Invict and Griftus. And then we got the other one and more stuff coming out about why it makes less than no sense that they're headed to Nigeria. So I want to talk about all of that with you guys. And I want to say a big honk honk. Thanks for being here. Okay, so this person posts Piers Morgan. I know, I'm not a fan of him right now either. If you're like, Jen, how come? Well, I like how he takes down Harry and Meghan. I did not care for how he jumped on the Where's Kate bandwagon. Not a fan. Okay, but still, this is worth talking about. So let's take a look. It says, Piers Morgan, King Charles would rather impale himself on a rusty sword than meet with Prince Harry, who's wrought with such vengeful misery. And then this person says, blistering read, and it's an article shared, I believe it was by The Sun. Says, also very satisfying. Good for King Charles. That was my first reaction when I heard he'd given a big regal middle finger to his treacherous youngest son, Harry. Harry's officially persona non royal grata from the monarch down, and it's no less than he deserves for his despicable behavior. Charles is so disgusted he won't even give him the time of day, and if he was one of my sons, I'd feel exactly the same way. I want to immediately go into this person's comment because I was about to say very similarly, and I just think this person says it so much better. It's No District 4272. It says, you can love your kids while still not liking their behavior. After years of being coddled and pampered, H is finally being shown the consequences of his actions. While King Charles III will always be H's father, he does not need to cater to H's demands or be used as a pawn in M's games. He can love his son from far, far away. That's exactly it. That's how I feel as well. And I have, a lot of people very fired up in the comments like, oh, Charles isn't doing anything. And I can understand, I can't understand, but I can appreciate the situation that King Charles is in, and that I do believe he'll always love him as his son. But man, what a prick, right? I mean, he just keeps on and keeps on. And then you also have to think about not only how he's hurt, Charles's mother and the whole family, the things that Harry has called Charles's wife, the things that he has done to Charles's other son. I keep calling him Charles. King Charles's other son, William. Better son, William. The way that Harold has treated William's wife, Catherine, and I know she's so much more than that, but you get the point. Like, these are all things that I think Charles has to take in consideration, and I think, Harold sucks. Yeah, of course, I'm always like, oh, he needs to strip him of the titles, and then I always get comments saying, he needs to grow a spine. I get your frustration, I get what you're saying, but I also understand Charles seems to be a big old softy for his sons, and I can understand that. But I'm with you. I can sense a shift. I feel like finally, to quote this person, there are consequences for H, and he can't just, I don't know, come on in and expect everybody to drop everything for him. Look at the way he acted for King Charles's coronation. I will not stop thinking about that. Yes, he physically showed up. I don't know that he should have, but he did. But think about how he acted. He was there for just minutes. We have a million pictures of him pulling faces and clearly not wanting to be there, and then just jets right back out. So I'm so sick of these publications that are like, Harry's trying to put out an olive branch. It's not for Harry to do. It's not for either of them to do. They're awful people. They're the ones causing all this havoc. It is not for them to decide, we've run out of other options, so we should be let back in. Human Economics is quoting directly from the article saying he, King Charles, would rather be exchanging small talk and munching sandwiches with people he's never met than endure a second in your malevolent company. That is the clearest thing about where Haz's relationship with the family are, Charles was able to make room in his schedule to see Haz, and he decided not to. Charles doesn't want to meet H. I don't like calling him Haz because the other one calls him that. He doesn't want H to use him for his public relations. There's nothing to continue speculating about. Great Gossip shared this, and I really liked their point of view. I hadn't thought about this. Okay, so even if King Charles wanted to see Harry, and they emphasize that is a very big if, I'm saying no, not at all, but I get what they're saying. Okay, so if he wanted to see him, two major issues are in the way. One, Harry is on his way to Nigeria. King Charles cannot give the impression that he sanctions anything Harry says. And two, Harry went straight to Good Morning America and sold his story about the 12-minute meeting. Lots of other stuff as well, I'm sure. Money demands, Madam wanting to talk, scream, shouting, etc. I thought this person made such a good point. I didn't even think about the things you'd have to think about if you were king, about appearing to approve of what Harold and Fraud are about to do in Nigeria, because it's going to be over the top and ridiculous, and they're going to make fools of themselves. And he wouldn't want to be anywhere near that. And then, of course, great point, too, about the last time that they had their minutes-long meeting. What did Harold do? What did he say? Every click takes me back. Pretending to be afraid of the press, ran directly to the press with it. You cannot trust these people at all. So I think they make a great point. And we'll wrap up this part with this comment by Susie M. 2019 says, Piers has the perfect description of Harry. Harry, who's now become a permanently whining, snarling, fuming, spoiled little brat. Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. And we'll move on to what people are saying about Meghan, but I wanted to share this post by Witch Homework. It says, one sad little car and one security guard accompanying the Ginger Whinger to hold back the crowds and ensure his safety from the nasty UK at the Invictus today. Look at this. Of course, people were saying he looks so lost. He looks just so petulant and pouty to me. I don't know what it is. He's just like acting shocked that people can't stand him. Even the people of Ingriftus, who I don't understand. I'm not talking about the athletes. I'm talking about just the people in charge, why they still involve him. But I think they've all had enough of him, and it's like he's surprised by this. And he's surprised that the people of the UK don't want him back because he's a sad, pathetic little turd. I don't know. It's pathetic, but it's also kind of funny. He's so thick, he will never understand it. You can't insult everybody and treat everybody like that and then get a hero's welcome when you decide to come on home for a little bit. What a jackass. Let's keep going. All right. We have medium_proposal 6331 who says, cognitive dissonance. How does she justify this? Please let me know if I understand this correctly. Meghan Markle is alleged to have refused, on principle, to stay at a luxury hotel that housed an exotic bird, albeit captive, a presumably well cared for bird. All right, pause, because it took me a second too. I was like, wait, what? I remember reading this. Let's go back in time and remind us of what they're talking about here, and then we'll read the rest of this. Okay, so this is Gina Nelthorpe Count. Now, remember, she was Meghan's publicist. They met, I want to say it was around 2014 or so. Okay, we learned, I read so many books. I think it was in Revenge, but it's been a little bit. I think she talks about that, that Meghan would find reasons to be, this isn't shocking, an ass, and it had to do with hotels. Apparently the Dorchester did not live up to her standards. Ooh. And then she told a story about, she didn't name the hotel, I don't think. It was a hotel in Knightsbridge, where a hotel checked in and out of the same hotel without even spending a night. Because, oh, no. She does say the name of it. I'm so sorry. It's the Carlton Tower. Which is a very fancy hotel in London. And Gina says that she and her colleague walked to her room, and en route, there was this parrot sitting in a cage. Meghan looked at the parrot and looked at, her publicist and said, I can't stay here because of the parrot. So then they checked out and went to the Soho Hotel. So, I mean, that's the story of the parrot. She was being a bitch because she saw a parrot. I can't even remember the terms of why there was a parrot there, but it doesn't matter. It's just, she just threw a fit over everything. And I think it's my opinion, part of her way of looking regal or whatever. You like to use the word classy. So her way of looking classy, the opposite of classy, is to put down these fancy places. So by putting down that hotel, checking in, checking out the same day, I think she thought it made her more interesting. Instead, she just looks like a cow. Okay, so now that we've seen some classy photos of Meghan, yikes, right? Those are real photos. Just Google Meghan Markle posing and you'll find those. Okay, let's see here. So now that we know the story of the bird, let's go back and reread this. Please let me know if I understand this correctly. Meghan Markle is alleged to have refused on principle to stay at a luxury hotel that housed an exotic bird, albeit captive, a presumably well cared for bird. Yet this week, Meghan Markle is traveling to be hosted in Nigeria, a country where the practice of, understand that I can't say this I probably can, I just don't want to take a chance on YouTube. They practice in female hurting women, okay, is among the highest in the world, and numbers continue to be on the rise. I'm doubtful that she will throw her weight around as she did with the exotic bird. On this most important issue, perhaps she's going to speak out and protest. Female empowerment indeed. I will see your disgusting practices and raise you. The Sidley twins, they're not disgusting, they're wonderful. But they did a video on Nigeria. I didn't even think about this or realize this, but look, the Sidley twins, love them, did a video on exactly this. I would encourage you to go watch. They did a deep dive, and turns out Nigeria is anti-LGBTQ, and it's awful. It's just awful. They they can throw you in jail for being gay, and gay marriage is punishable by stoning. So, again, I totally get what this last person was saying, and I get what they're saying. For all that they preach, again, the hypocrisy, they go to a place like this, they won't say a word about it. So what about their friend Omid? Wouldn't he have something to say about it? He's just fine with them going and wouldn't have a problem with it? Okay, so Enormous Bird, great name, says she is work shy. She would never have the balls to create any sort of meaningful impact, which is why she is no longer a working royal, and despite her protestation to the contrary. Yeah, it's just total hypocrisy from these two. Their actions never match what they preach. I have so many videos on exactly this. I mean, just the trip alone, going and staying completely silent on the African parks while preaching feminist. It's just it's just unbelievable. It's not even shocking anymore. It's just disgusting behavior from these two. Then the conversation got funny, and people were talking about how she's so looking forward to everything she could possibly grift on her trip. I feel the same way. You can see my bingo card for details. I think she will be grifting upon grifting and eating it and enjoying every second of her faux royalty once again. Pretend Dependent 56 says, oh, blank her. She's a vegan who eats meat. She tries to lead anti-bull campaigns, but terrorizes the Princess of Wales online. Typical narcissistic BS. Meghan is a treacherous psychopath who will stomp a bird or human into oblivion to get what she wants. You understand her, all right? She's batshit insane. And then this person says, I hope an exotic Nigerian bird creps in her weave. Me too. Hey, it would match the Oprah dress, so it would make sense. She already looked like she got crapped on. Oh, this has been so much fun. I really enjoy these. Let me know your thoughts on all of it. Let's see. Hasnaballs still has a little time. I think he has like one more day in the UK, and then he's headed to, last I heard, he's headed to Nigeria. Who knows what he's actually up to, but head to Nigeria to meet that one. So we'll see. I'm sure we're going to have a treasure trove of embarrassing moments from the pair of them. So, yeah, I'll keep talking about that. Thank you guys for everything. Thank you for being here and supporting. It means a whole wide world to me. I am working on new merch, so check back soon on that. I'll make an announcement. And in the meantime, check out Patreon, patreon.com/Real Housewives Recaps, where I do bonus episodes, deep dives. I just did one where I shared my office with everybody. So I gave like a inside look and just kind of shared some personal details. So check that out if you're the least bit interested. Thank you guys for being here and have the best day. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.